Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia was helped into his grave February 13th. Scalia was at the Cibolo Creek Ranch, a 30,000-acre elite getaway about 30 miles from Mexico, in a remote region of Texas. It has hosted famous celebrities over the years, from Mick Jagger to Bruce Willis. So I initially started looking into this because, honestly, I thought it was a brothel of some sort, so I was ready for a laugh, especially considering such a high-profile death and the hush-hush nature of the details. Well, I ended up in a medieval pinball game of elite societies that are hundreds and hundreds of years old, from the U.S. government to the Vatican to global businessmen in all facets of play. So let's take a journey, shall we? Okay, bear with me here. Scalia was a guest of the owner of the ranch, John B. Poindexter, a decorated Vietnam veteran who owns a manufacturing firm. Poindexter is a member of the International Order of St. Hubertus, which, founded in 1695, is an international fraternity of sportsmen. Now, this society has some big-name players. A few years ago, the International Order of St. Hubertus inaugurated a new Grand Master, and I quote, "Today, His Imperial Highness Andreas von Habsburg, Archduke of Austria, passed the office of Grand Master of the International Order of St. Hubertus to his nephew, Archduke Istvan von Habsburg. In a ceremony recalling the long historical traditions of the order, the priors of the order present signified their support and allegiance to the new Grand Master by a laying on of hands ceremony. Additionally, all ordensbrothers present reinforced their commitment to the order by renewing their oath to the 2010 Constitution and inherently to the Grand Master as the highest authority in this leadership of the hierarchical order. As the first act in his new office, Archduke Istvan invested over 40 new ordensbrothers into the honor of knighthood." End quote. So yeah, I didn't just read you a fucking Skyrim quest or a Paladin quest from World of Warcraft. This is real life shit. Let's keep going. Grandmaster Istvan von Habsburg is an interesting guy to say the least. He is the Archduke of Austria, Royal Prince of Hungary, a resident fellow at the Center for Transatlantic Relations, where he focuses his study on the remote origins of the European Union and its interaction with United States foreign policy. Mr. von Habsburg is Grand Master of the International Order of St. Hubertus, Officer of the Grand Ducal Order of the Oak Crown, President of the Royal Luxembourg Delegation of the Sacred Military Order of St. George, is freelance lobbying specialist, former president of the Chinese Luxembourgish Chamber of Commerce, representative in Luxembourg of the Argentinian Chamber of Commerce, member of the board of directors of the Chilean Luxembourgish Chamber of Commerce, and president of Cercel Pierre Roberti in Luxembourg, amongst other associations. So let's delve into this a bit. The Sacred Military Constantinian Order of St. George. The Knight of Justice Geoffrey Gamble is Director of International Government Affairs of the DuPont Company and a member of its legal department. His responsibilities include leading DuPont's global government affairs network, the development of corporate trade policies, and providing legal counsel in the areas of international and comparative law, trade law, and global ethics. For 11 years, he was chairman of the U.S. Industry Trade Advisory Committee for Chemicals, Pharmaceuticals, Health/Science Products, and Services to the Department of Commerce and to the United States Trade Representative. He was a former captain in the Marine Corps, a decorated Vietnam veteran. He holds 3 ecclesiastical knighthoods. He is Knight of Honor and Devotion of the Sovereign Military Order of Malta. Yes, a sovereign military order. The Order of Malta has its own government. A Grand Master, flags and emblems, stamps, coins, the whole 9 yards. Founded in the year 1099 in Jerusalem. The entity retains sovereignty under international law, including permanent observer status at the United Nations, issuing its own passports, currency, and postal stamps with the Maltese Cross insignia. The Order's military corps, 3 brigades, are stationed throughout Italy, liaisoned with the Italian-American forces, liaisoned with the Italian Armed Forces. We're talking older than the Knights Templar. In degrees of orders, we're talking Master Masons and Royal Archmasons. Now, the DuPont Corporation has been around for a while. DuPont developed many polymers such as Vespel, neoprene, nylon, corian, Teflon, mylar, Kevlar, Zendrain, M5 fiber, Nomex, Tyvek, Sorana, and Lycra. DuPont developed Freon, chlorofluorocarbons for the refrigerant industry, and later more environmentally friendly refrigerants. It also developed synthetic pigments and paints, including chromaflare. In 2014, DuPont was the world's fourth largest chemical company based on market capitalization and eighth based on revenue. Its stock price is a component of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. In the Second World War, DuPont ranked 15th among United States corporations in the value of wartime production contracts. As the inventor and manufacturer of nylon, DuPont helped produce the raw materials for parachutes, powder bags, and tires. DuPont also played a major role in the Manhattan Project in 1943, designing, building, and operating the Hanford plutonium-producing plant in Hanford, Washington. In 1950, DuPont also agreed to build the Savannah River plant in South Carolina as part of the effort to create a hydrogen bomb. And they were successful. The agricultural division DuPont Pioneer makes and sells hybrid seed and genetically modified seed, some of which goes on to become genetically modified food. Now let me tell you the purpose of GMOs here. They, of course, genetically modify them to yield more crop or resist certain pesticides, etc. Oh, great idea. All great. No. The real reason is to patent the seed. Then they sell the patented seed to farmers and they can't replant the crop. It's fucking copyright infringement. Also, GMO makers help financialize the speculative trading in agricultural commodity derivatives. Brilliantly evil and crazy. In 2004, the company sold its textiles business to the Koch Industries. Yeah, the Koch brothers. They are worth $80 billion and take we the people out of the political process with the power of money. I can keep going, but how far down the rabbit hole do you wish to go? These guys are untouchable puppet masters, wolf in sheep's clothing, hiding in the highest and holiest of citadels, casting shadows. The Pope kisses their rings. You never heard of most of these guys, and you never will. They got their hands in it all, and they are watching, with overlapping members or small degree of separation of overlapping members. Another is the Military Order of St. Lazarus. The Grand Prior is Kenneth P. Muritsugu, United States Surgeon General. Spiritual counselor, His Eminence Norberto Cardinal Rivera Carrera, Archbishop Cardinal of Mexico, who was in the last two papal conclaves selecting the Pope. Some suggested during those conclaves for himself to be Pope. Accused of covering up multiple child sex allegations. Some overlapping members to these untouchable societies is the King of Spain, to name another. Mostly high-ranking military, businessmen, politicians, gallivanting in elite societies under the guise of religion in most cases, laundering money through Christian charities with a power and influence beyond comprehension. Scalia was found with a pillow over his face, was declared dead by phone, and no autopsy or investigation ever happened or ever will. The hunting trip he was on, that of the International Order of St. Hubertus, which he was a guest of the party. Poindexter has donated to various Democratic political candidates. Scalia was, of course, a Republican Supreme Court justice, which has been a thorn in the side to Democrats blocking gun control legislation, among other things, through his years. Shit, you know someone who can get you out of a speeding ticket, or know someone who did or could, correct? Well, imagine your own order, your own sovereign governing body that is not a piece of land. Diplomatic immunity, no accountability, a tree-fort global gang of the highest religious leaders, business leaders, political leaders, military leaders. You don't see the puppet strings, you see the show. Here's some more Order of St. Hubertus hunting buddies having a good time. Vidal G. Martinez, U.S. Attorney in the Civil Division of the U.S. Department of Justice, international attorney, ranked as number one go-to international attorney in the state of Texas, has worked with the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission. Reed Morin, formerly served on the board of directors for the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas-Houston branch, chairman and chief executive officer of several companies, including president of DX Holdings. DX Holdings is, of course, distributed by a network of subsidiary companies that treat our water with chemicals, and, of course, looking at monitored water quality and pollution assessments of many of the shadowy subsidiary companies, we find many bad things like fluoride. Drinking water is one of the nation's key infrastructure assets. Treatment plants are the last barrier between natural, accidental, or deliberate contamination. According to the EPA government site, here, this is the report from this guy's company. I say again, some of these orders have been around since the First Crusade. Let's go back to the Order of St. Lazarus. In 2008, after electing a new Grand Master, they detailed, St. Lazare Investment will be the largest owner of aquatic property and will thus face the prerogatives of future international ecological policies from the point of view of an influential investor in the carbon finance marketplace. Water will soon become an instrument of power and influence. The St. Lazare Foundation aims to become an essential global player specializing in water. Its strength and distinctiveness derive from the three pillars on which it stands: a think tank, an investment source, and a center of operations. Its affiliations are the United Nations, World Water Forum, World Water Council, and UNESCO. Another affiliation, the European Union, NGOs, International Office for Water, Water Supply and Sanitation Collaborative Council. Another association is the Vatican. The World Society was created to finance the St. Lazare Foundation. The World Society is a global network which offers unique advantages to its members. It comprises those men and women around the world who are part of the economic, financial, social, or cultural elite. The World Society is one of the world's most exclusive. Joining the World Society is a unique opportunity, a privilege. The future is water. The members of the World Society are among the happy few who will become key players in the future of our planet. The World Society is what separates the elite from the elites. The object of the World Society is the financing of the St. Lazare Foundation and all of its activities. The World Society is a global network which offers unique advantages to its members. Joining the World Society is a unique opportunity, a privilege. Fees and selection criteria are set accordingly. The future belongs to those who invest in it. The future is water. European Union Commission President José Manuel Barroso recently said in a speech, "We have to make room at the top table for others because that is the only way we can consolidate and strengthen a stable, multilateral world governed by internationally agreed rules." Globalization, multilateralism appears many times in this speech. Dr. Robert Moynihan, the embedded journalist inside the Vatican, Vatican's official journalist, said before the last pope stepped down, Pope Benedict, remember that? Kind of unusual, right? Well, he was supposed to attend a cardinal's funeral, but canceled last minute because he was tired. Well, he spent several hours earlier with the Knights of Malta, except in his written text, he misspelled mourning, my ring. Now the Pope's office is symbolized by the ring of the fisherman, which is ceremoniously transferred when the papacy changes hands. Popes don't step down in good health because they are tired. Was it a typo intended to be a sign? I don't know. Okay, I have gone as far as I'm going to go here.